So welcome in again, my friend, and I tell you what, I wonder if birthday boy Sam Smith is still feeling damn good about himself after his first goal at the Stoke Cater, our second goal on the season for Wrexham. But I tell you, great goal, very tense match, the crowd getting a little bit nervy, although I've got to say, great vocal support once again. Big up to Phil Weston in the crowd for keeping us in tune exactly what's going on in the Stoke Cater. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you, everybody, for watching right now. Let's get into this. I tell you, it's going to be a massive show and a massive game. And don't forget, live commentary, watch along again for the Reading game and each game till we get out of the season and then into the pre-season. And don't forget, there's a World Cup coming. My big yap's going to be all over that too. So looking at this show, this is what we got for you. Highlights coming up straight away. Then we'll look at League One matches and a top six focus. Stats and the starting lineups from the last time these guys are around. Then I'm going to give you a picture to look at, and I've freeze-framed a picture from the last time Reading played Wrexham at the Stoke Cater. And there was a shot came in that cannoned off the crossbar, and I say it went behind the line at the same time as people saying, oh, no, it didn't, but I've freeze-framed it. The black shadow is the shadow of the ball. The white flash is the centre of the ball when you get there. So look for that as we get through. Also, we got the head-to-head, the match prediction, and the game talk. So let's kick it off right now. Welcome in. Thank you for coming back. Remember, like, subscribe, hit all notification buttons. Get in the know all the time. Let's have some highlights right now from the last time these guys met each other earlier in the season, August 2024 at the Stoke Cater. Enjoy. Straight after that, we're going straight to the League One and the top six focus. Welcome in. Indeed, it finished 3-0 to Wrexham on the day, but you will find as we get to the stats and the starting lineups moving along exactly how tight this was, and that maybe it wasn't, or maybe it was a 3-0 game, but when you see the stats and the starting lineups, you'll be able to make your own mind up as to what you really think. Now, let's get into the League One and the top six focus right now. Keeping it moving, keeping it going. So, my friend, take a look to the right. You'll see where we're going on the show today. Let's get straight into the top six matches. And we have 6 midweek matches, of which 4 of those are top 6 teams. Birmingham starting it off, taking on Stevenage. Stevenage down in 12th. I think it's going to be loss number 14 for Stevenage and win number 25 for Birmingham, who will be champions very soon. Blackpool in 11th, welcome Cambridge in 23. It looks like Blackpool's probably going to claim another win and put another nail in Cambridge's coffin, who look relegation bound for sure. Bolton going very well recently in 6th, travel to 20th place Bristol. Is this going to be a banana skin for Bolton? Charlton in 5th, unbeaten in 4, travel to Crawley Town, 22nd, looking like a relegation team to me. Take Charlton to get something there too. Exeter in 18, welcome in Mansfield in 16, both teams unbeaten in 3. Who's going to be unbeaten in 4? And finally, Reading unbeaten in 8 matches, 3 wins, 5 draws, take on Wrexham unbeaten in 4. This could go either way. It's going to be really tight, and the odd goal may decide this, if not a draw. So there's 4 top 6 teams in the games this midweek. I tell you, it'll make a difference in the table. Remember, we've got the live stream coming on the weekend. Take a look at the stats and the starting lineups from the last match, August 2024, between these two. So take a look at the stats here and take a good look. Slow yourself down and have a look at the left side. The possession, the passes, the pass accuracy, the shots on clock. Have a look in slow time, because I tell you this, although the clock says 3-0 to Wrexham, this game was tighter than the scoreline does tell. Now let's take a look at the lineups from the last match as well. Phil Parkinson put out this lineup for Wrexham. You've seen this a few times. This is a pretty normal sort of setup over the season so far, and substitutes used on the day highlighted in white. Mullin, Revan, Fletcher and Jones. Now, looking at Reading, it was a different story. Ruben Selesh was the manager back then. He's now with Hull City in the Championship. He left earlier on. There's his record. 34 wins, 18 draws, 26 losses, yeah? And then, since then, the insertion of a new coach, Noel Hunt. There's his record as well. 6 wins in 20, 8 draws, 6 losses. Tells your story. Tough to break down, but don't win many games. Let's get back on screen. Now, for that picture that I was telling you about, or image, photo, whatever you might want to call it, and big up to every Wrexham fan worldwide, absolutely big up to you, and pass the word around. Live commentary coming up. But that image, photograph, I promised you, from the last time these two met at the Stoke House, the ball cannoned off the crossbar. At my anticipation, when I saw it happening, I'm like, that's a goal. Even guys putting up their hands lets you know it was a goal. And even Wrexham defenders dropping their heads knowing it was a goal. Well, I'm not trying to influence you. Take a look at the picture, the image, the photograph, and tell me what you're thinking. And big up to everybody that was in the last live watch-along. I tell you what, I had a blast. But take a look at that picture. The black shadow to the left side of the goal, the right post, behind the line. Well, that's the shadow from the ball. That white streak is where I freeze-framed the picture where the ball goes from round to a bit of a blemish. But it's a white blemish above that black spot somewhere to the left side of the goal, or right side of the goal if you're standing in front of it, but left side as we're looking. Take a look at that picture and tell me if you think the ball indeed is over the line or not. Have a look. So there's an argument for you. Was it over? Was it not? Down below, let me know what you're doing. Now, let's go straight to the head-to-head and see who's bossing the whole thing. All time, historically as well, between Reading and Wrexham AFC. Take a look. We'll be right back. So, guys, to the head-to-head, a part of the show that I really enjoy. I know a lot of you guys do too. We're going to start with the historical stuff first. Let's take a look at that. It all began 1934. First win, 1957. I know a lot of you were not around then. I wasn't either. First loss, bad day and the best day. Let's take a look at the last 5 head-to-head, starting with the first 4 of those 5. Looking at bragging rights now. Who's got bragging rights? Who's riding high? Well, it's Wrexham since August 2024. Now, thinking about that head-to-head, who's bossing it numerically with wins, draws and losses? Well, Reading's got 16 wins. How many draws? We got 4. Worldwide Wrexham fans, you got to ask yourself one question. Has Wrexham won more than 16? No, they haven't. So in this case, Reading is bossing the head-to-head 16-4-10. Yes, Wrexham fans, Reading is beating us in the head-to-head, but bragging rights, August 2024, 3-0. We still got it. Fingers crossed, we get a result, and we still have it. Match prediction coming up right now. So there is the battleground, Madejski Stadium. I tell you what, we're in for a tough game. Both teams are going to have to fight for it. And looking at the betting odds before we get to the prediction, the betting odds for this one, 3-1 on for Reading to get a home win and evens for Wrexham to get the away win. So it's very tightly poised. Both teams can take it. Now, normally I say I never see a 0-0 in this game. This one you could. Recently, Reading's had a couple of draws, 3 draws in fact in the last 4 at home. 2 0-0s and a 1-1, so it could be a 0-0. It could even be a 1-1. If it all goes right for Reading, I only see a 1-0 if the win goes their way. And for Reading, if it goes wrong, well, it could go 1-0 for Wrexham. For this game, I'm telling you, it's so tight to call, but I do feel Wrexham has a chance at getting a win, if not the draw. But if it's a win, that's 5 on the bounce. And you got to ask yourself, can Wrexham get 5 on the bounce, or is it going to be a 1-1 draw? So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be a tough match. I'm sure you know that as well. And I do not see a goal fest. I really don't. I think 1 goal could settle this quite easily. I think if you're talking the team likely to get that win, yes, it's probably Wrexham. But don't forget, Reading at home. The home form is incredible. It's like Wrexham's form Also, incredible. But Reading's home form, do you want to know what it is? 11 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, 28 goals scored, 14 against for plus 14. The home winning record is 64% win ratio. If they had the same road form as Wrexham, they'd be in the top 6 big time. Wrexham's old form is what Reading have. You see, Wrexham about maybe a month and a half ago, we were looking like Reading's home form. Now we're 7-4-5. Reading is looking to become what we are. They have terrible road form, don't pick up many points, hence that's why they're 8th. But if they had better road form, well, then they would be. Talking about the last 10, 3 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. That's not so bad. 9 goals scored, 9 against. So they don't give up much and they don't score much. And in the last 8, 3 wins, 5 draws, 0-0s twice, 1-1s a couple in there too. They like to draw, yeah? This could end up a draw, 0-0, 1-1, possibly so. But I'm looking for 1 goal just to make the difference. Sam Smith, once you start scoring for your team, your new team, you get settled, it starts to happen. Jack Marriott, I think Jack's a little bit lost right now. I don't think he's hit form coming back. I think he's a little bit in between. And I don't think he looks so happy on the bench either. So you got to worry about where his mindset is. I know he's for the cause, but I'm just saying, Sam Smith's looking good. Stevie Fletcher, has that confidence going too. So I think he needs to be in there too. Paul Mullin. We all love Paul. We all love Paul dearly, but it's just not happening. So at the end of the day, this game here, Sam Smith, birthday boy from last game, yeah. Going home to his old team now, yeah. Normally, when a guy goes to his old club, he normally has a good chance on scoring on him. And it normally happens regularly. So let's not jinx it. But Sam's got that beautiful touch. When he took that goal the other day, just a second, we're not going to take that, whoever you are. One more time. There we go. Cut that off live in show. But I got to say, Sam is really the guy. When he took that shot on Phillips in the Rotherham game on the weekend, the way he waited for Phillips to commit down low and the way Sam slid that ball under, that's class finishing. If he keeps developing like that, he's going to bag goals. And he also makes a lot happen. Well, I'll tell you what, talking about assisting, I've seen Sam Smith assist a lot of moves that haven't come off. Eventually, they're going to. So, Sam Smith's going to be the man to do the damage. The home form, like I say, 11-3-3 is incredible. That's why I'm saying this one's going to be really tight. Something else I want to look at for you as well is that in the last 10 games, 6 of those games were at home. 4 were on the road. Hence, the last 10 is making Reading perhaps look slightly better than they probably are. Wrexham now. It's a very interesting and a very important couple of days coming up. Right now, posturing up for this match midweek under the lights, and I love night football, but right now, posturing up against Reading on the road. It's going to be a tough game. I've told you 1,000 times. You're getting bored of hearing that. But the point is this. After this match, we line up Saturday for a second away match in 2, and it's at Wycombe Wanderers. That's probably one of the most important matches we face from now till the start of the 8 Games to Glory. And I'm going to release a video about the 8 Games to Glory, including other teams in it, very soon, so you get the benefit of that. But on the weekend, we got Wycombe. Therefore, Phil Parkinson is now picking this team with Wycombe in mind. We might not see the team we expect. I expect a few players to come in and get time. Andy Cannon, one especially. I expect Andy to come into this game too. You're going to see the most of the players that you've seen. You'll see the same kind of rotation. But I'm saying Phil Parkinson is looking to Wycombe as well with them in mind because it's another road game and they have had a complete week rest. No midweek game for Wycombe. Yes for Wrexham. 2 games in a week for Wrexham. 1 for Wycombe. Looking for the weekend, Phil has got to get this right and he's also got to get that right. And then on the back of that, before we get to the 8 Games of Glory, the Stockport County at the Stoke Queiroz before we get to the final 8 matches of the season. We stay in contention with Wycombe. When we get to that final 8 games of the season, we could be on the real route to something magnificent. I'm not going to say anything too much, But them 8 games to glory could well happen because of these next 3 matches. 2 on the road, Reading, Wycombe, and then Stockport at home. At the end of the day, that's what you got to think about. Is this season defining? If we don't go through these games and pick up the points we need, is it season defining? No, it's not. Will it ruin the season? No, it won't. Because we're still going to make the playoffs. That you can ensure yourself. This squad, this team, Phil Parkinson, I say, not jinxing anything, but quite confidently because of what you know and what you've seen and what's been done all through the season, confidently you can look at going to the playoffs. Number 2 spot does not just depend on this next 3 games or this road match at Reading. It depends on the next 11, obviously. But at the end of all of these 3 games, if we are in contention, you can get yourself ready to watch that video coming of the 8 games to glory, because we're right on track. And when you consider where we were 3 years ago, I've said it a couple of times, where we were 2 years ago, where we were at the start of the season, with everybody saying, oh, you've got no chance in this league, you're going to finish mid-table, you're jokers, you're Hollywood football, it might be great for National League, it might be great for League 2 at the stretch, but you're coming to League 1, what are you thinking? You'll finish in the bottom half of the table, and you might have to fight off relegation. We're not. And we won't be. And that's not what this club's going to be. So you put all the doubters and all the, I say, detractors to bed. And everybody that comes along now starts to respect who Wrexham is, because it's not Hollywood football, it's a club. And it's a football club that's been strategized and so well managed in the last 3 years, it's incredible. Or I like to say incredibly. But put yourself in one position. Take all what we've done this year, take what is left to come, take look at the team it's now added to it in the transfer window and how it's coming back alive, how we went through some little bit of a torrid form there and how it's bounced back to the Wrexham form, and looking as we move forward now to the kickoff, I want you all get ready and tell your mates to get into this channel and get ready for the live commentary coming again. And all the people around the world that clicked into the last live commentary, big up to you. I tell you, and Enda MacDonald in Scotland said one thing as I sign off. She said in Scotland on the live commentary at the Rotherham game, she said one thing, amongst a few things, but one thing stood out. She said, you know, commentating a game is not easy. It sounds like Enda knew what she was talking about, because it's not. But if you got the passion and if you love what you're doing, it becomes more sustainable, it becomes more reachable, because you're enjoying it, you're in the moment, and it's your lifeblood, it's your passion, it's what you want to do. So get yourself set up, primed, however you need to. Get on the chat, get ready for the live chat, get ready for the live commentary at the watch along, because I'm going to be there, and it's a fantastic time as well. It's under the lights, night football, and what time is it going to be when you watch the game? For me, it's going to be 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Mountain Time, Alberta, Canada. What time is it going to be for you, wherever you are? Yeah. Reading, Wrexham, Majeski Stadium. Let's have it. Cheers.